Oh, there we go. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of gaming in a group versus gaming solo. And I'm going to tell you straight, like right off the bat, I like gaming solo. The reason there's plenty of reasons why, but I'm going to get to that later. Now we're going to talk about the pros and cons of gaming in a group. Now, you know what? I'm going to give you the bad news first. The bad news and the cons of gaming in a group first. First of all, the reason why I don't like gaming in a group is because you have haters and waiters, right? And this all depends on like who are your friends around you, right? No matter how much of a friend there are, like no matter how much of a friendship there is, you're always gonna have like that one friend who's in the group who's kind of always like hating on you, like low key. Like you'll be like, oh, like hey, let's go out, let's go flirt with some chicks, right? So you go out, and this guy he's probably like saying some shit like, oh, man, you're always doing this, like you're always just flirting with random women and blah 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 blah. Honestly, I hate that stuff. Like I can't stand. And there's always that one person that does it, and it's not even that they're trying to be jealous of you, or it's not even that they're trying to, you know, bag on you or anything. It's just the fact that that's not their personality, that's not their lifestyle, and you always get like one or two of those in a group, and I don't know. I don't know why. So like you always have to you have to make sure that whoever's in your group is not a hater, or that they're seeking the same kind of lifestyle that you're seeking. Two would be the waiters. The waiters, I mean, it's just simple as like, you know, you're gaming and you see people, and you have like that one guy who's just kind of shy, and then when you're like, okay, look, man, you have to do something, like you kind of just like want to push them. You want to push them to like get out of their comfort zone, but then it becomes more of a chore because they go out with you every time because they know it's gonna be fun, but then they always sit in the background, which is cool, but at the same time, like I like to have experiences with people, you know, like I don't want to just have someone experience me. You see what I'm saying? So that's two reasons why I personally don't like solo gaming. I mean, that's the two reasons why I personally don't like group gaming. And then another reason would be like just having a bad wingman, right? Like, and I say that the bad wingman is also kind of part of the hater, because like, I mean, let's say that like, you know, you're flirting with somebody, right? You're flirting with a female, and you know, you're sitting there, you're chatting her up, and now your friend comes along. He comes in, he tries to steal her from you, right? I got Vaseline in my nose because I see like the little shiny bit. I got Vaseline in my nose because I have like a little cut in there from some, I don't know. But anyways, now your friend, he's coming in and he's trying to weasel his way in there and steal her from you. Now this creates competition, and now she has to choose, which then creates anxiety, and then she ends up not choosing either one of you. You see what I'm saying? So like, that is just a terrible wingman. He's low key a hater. Like, dude, if you want a chick, I can help you get laid. Like, I mean, people don't realize is that like when you're trying to, you know, score, um, I'm using gaming terms. When you're trying to score, and you know, the best way to score is helping your friends score. You see what I'm saying? Because they then turn around and do the same for you. Long story short, don't help nobody get laid that doesn't deserve it. If they deserve it, help them get laid. If they're good wingmen. I got notes this time too. So, um, also, energy balance, right? Because you have to balance the energy, like the new energy with the old, right? The new energy with the old, and it's kind of like, like for example, like let's say that you bring a friend who is needing a little bit more help, who needs a little bit more help with gaming. So you kind of have to like step in like as a wingman. You gotta like, oh hey, you remember that, like it should come like it should come easily, but like at the same time, it's to me it's a little bit more of a chore if I'm having to do it like all the time. For example, someone who runs out of things to say all the time, right? Because they're just constantly nervous and always in their head, and they're not um, in the moment, and they don't know how to just let things flow, right? So you're constantly having to stop what you're doing here and, hey, oh, do you remember that thing that blah 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 blah. I break down on how to be a good wingman later, but yeah, balancing new energy and old energy. So you have like, I mean, I don't like having to be attentive to someone who doesn't know what they're doing, but if you're paying me for it, I'll do it. Anyways, now let's get on to the pros, of gaming with a group. Now, back to what I said earlier, is having a good wingman, and this also comes with having good friends, right? Your wingman could potentially get you laid, right? You won't even really have to do anything. Your wingman could do all of the work, and I'm not saying that you should put all of the load on them, but they could potentially just get you laid by saying like, oh yeah, he's a really cool guy, and blah 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 blah. So I mean, that's one of the pros of having a group when you're gaming. Um, Another thing is that, like what I was saying earlier, is having a connection with friends, and them not observing you but also being a part of the interaction. You see what I'm saying? So that's why that is a good part of having like if you have like the correct group, right? The kind of people who are trying to have the same experiences that you are, then it makes the interaction more memorable. And plus then you can also use those memories to when you game on a different night, together. So as to also so number 3 would be having friends, like having cool friends around attracts other cool friends. You see what I'm saying? Like if you have like this live ass group, like everybody around you is just sending off like good energy, just like like you look at this group, right? They're having a ton of fun, and everyone is just like everyone is enjoying themselves. You look at this other group, and they're not enjoying themselves. Which group are you going to be attracted to? You're going to be attracted to the group to where everybody's having fun, and in turn other groups are going to want to have fun with that group. You see what I'm saying? So those are the pros of being with a group versus being versus being in a solo. So the reason why I personally like solo is because I don't have to think about things going on around me. I can just strictly focus on things that I'm trying to build upon, right? Things like if I were to try and say like, okay, I let's say I put like 7 goals for what I wanted to do for gaming that week, right? Let's say I put 7 goals. I can strictly focus on each and one of those goals versus having to, attend to someone else or tend to another person or what, whatever. Another reason why I like solo gaming is because you're more mobile, right? You can change the scene without having to change, like, without having to have groups, like, okay, without having to be that guy to head him up and move him out. You know what I mean? So you're more mobile and you're able to have a lot more experiences in a shorter period of time, right? So, like, let's say that you're talking to somebody and you strike out. Well, you don't have to sit there and endure this pain because your friend is over there winning. You see what I'm saying? So um you're able to have a lot more interactions. If you see that, okay, like, this interaction is not going anywhere, or whatever, it's not the energy that I want to have around me, you can just simply walk away and then find a new interaction, rather than having to bring a whole group with you. um Another reason why I like solo gaming is because being like that one guy who's just experiencing things by himself, and then integrating into a group, and then becoming a part of that group, it's almost like you're putting on a mask within each group, because you can kind of, like, if you've been doing this for a while, you can gauge, like, what class the group is in, right? So you can pretty much gauge, like, okay, well, this is kind of like the stoner group, so let me go ahead and put on that mask, kind of. But you're not really putting on a mask. You're able to you're able to gauge, like, more personalities and stuff, and you're able to accommodate for those because you're integrating. So the reason why you have to accommodate is because you're integrating. You're an outsider, so you have to um not so much put on a face, but uh be welcomed even though you're not welcomed. Like, you came into this group out of it. Anyways, yeah, so those are the reasons why I like solo gaming, and those are the pros and cons of group gaming. I'm have something coming out very special to where I teach. I'm going to be teaching very, very. Please just stay tuned. I know that I messed up at the end of this video, but please stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss what happens within the next 3 weeks. Peace. Happy hunting, guys.